Hello, I'm Bob Schieffer, and welcome to the CBS Evening News online edition. Just ahead, California's assisted suicide bill moves quickly through a legislative committee, but it's a hot-button issue if ever there was one. Bill Whitaker will have our report. Also, they call it a Humvee on steroids. We'll show you the new vehicle that's designed to protect troops from roadside bombs. And killer whales up close and personal, and showing exactly how they got their names. It's all starting now on the CBS Evening News online edition. For years, Oregon has been the only state where doctor-assisted suicide for terminally ill patients is legal. President Bush wants the Supreme Court to outlaw it there. But now California has taken the first steps toward allowing assisted suicide in that state, a move that is sure to raise the political stakes nationwide. Bill Whitaker has more on this from Los Angeles. Bill?
Bob, the assisted suicide bill sailed through a State House committee today, setting the stage for a heated statewide debate.
And the two boys...
Polly Crouch is losing her battle with lung cancer, but as she declines, she doesn't want to lose control. Should the pain and debility become unbearable, she wants to say when to end her life.
The doctor said that this type was particularly lethal and that it could metastasize to other parts of your body, and it sometimes went to your brain. And that really scares me. I don't want to be alive with no brain power. I've always been in control of my life. I would like to also be in control of my death.
The bill, working its way through the California legislature, would give her that right. Modeled on Oregon's 7-year-old assisted suicide law, the California bill would allow doctors to prescribe lethal doses of drugs to terminally ill patients. Patty Berg is one of the sponsors.
Californians want this right. And whether or not there's the political will and the political courage to make it a right is yet to be seen.
Backers say the California bill has even more stringent safeguards than Oregon's to protect people who are depressed and requiring physicians to tell patients in writing of all the other alternatives. Another big difference, California is a much more raucous and diverse state, and so are the voices of opposition.
Not only the Catholic Church, but advocates for the disabled, who call it a ploy for insurance companies and HMOs to get rid of the sickest, costliest clients. Community groups say blacks and Latinos get second-rate health care from birth.
We'll feel forced to end our lives so that we don't become a burden on our families, our loved ones, and or a system, a medical system that's already overburdened with uninsured.
Polly Crouch says it's not about politics, but personal freedom.
I'm not asking to have control over anybody else's death, only my own. We plan our lives. Why not plan our deaths?
Californians are finding that simple question has no easy answer. Bob?
So what's the timetable here, Bill? Will this pass this year, or is it going to in the end pass? Do you know yet? Any predictions?
Well, Bob, it just made it over the first hurdle today. It now has to go to the full assembly. If it passes the full assembly, it goes to the Senate. If it passes the Senate, it goes to the desk of Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. And whether he will sign it or not is anybody's guess.
Most of the 15 American soldiers who've died in Iraq since Sunday were killed by roadside bombs. In response to this threat, the military is deploying a whole new kind of heavily armored vehicle. Mark Strassman has our report on that now.
Nothing kills more U.S. soldiers in Iraq than roadside bombs, blamed for 70% of all U.S. combat deaths. Soldiers call them IEDs, improvised explosive devices, and most soldiers will do anything to avoid them.
Give me the courage and strength.
But this Ohio National Guard unit actually seeks them out inside this, the Buffalo, a 26-ton armored cocoon on wheels. On patrol, they try to find and clear IEDs hidden in Baghdad's roadside trash.
Buffalo's pulling out the arm.
When something looks suspicious, this oil can, for example, the soldiers rotate the Buffalo's 30-foot robotic arm, and its claw lifts the suspected bomb so they can get a closer look without ever leaving the vehicle. It's such a lifesaver, the Pentagon's ordered 50 more from this factory in South Carolina to join the 36 already in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Buffalo is a Humvee on steroids, and for this kind of work, it better be.
You better be able to take a punch. And this thing can take a punch.
This vehicle is designed to take the punch.
IEDs here are getting more sophisticated, often triggered by cell phones or electronics with complicated frequencies. All the more reason for the troops to stay back and let the Buffalo take the risk.
It really does make you feel safe.
Yes, 100% safe. I've been through countless explosions and I'm still here to tell about it.
This Ohio unit remembers one IED that exploded 2 feet away from their Buffalo.
Scariest 5 seconds of my life, not knowing whether everyone was all right or not. But everybody was. Everyone was. The Buffalo took the hit instead of you.
Roger, sir.
I mean, you were alive.
Cool.
And that's what mattered most. Right.
Yes, sir.
Now, where the Buffalo roam, Iraqi roads now seem a little less menacing to U.S. soldiers. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Baghdad.
Rare pictures tonight of one of the wonders of the sea. In this case, off the California coast, it's a hunting ground for killer whales preying on real giants, some of their distant cousins. You hear the word awesome a lot, but what's taking place off the Pacific coast of Monterey really is. Here's Lee Cowan with our report.
In the world of heavyweight bouts, this is as big ticket as they come. Killer whales are living up to their name this year, attacking and drowning hundreds of slower but bigger gray whales just off Monterey, California. Although this deep-sea matchup has been going on for millions of years, it was hardly ever seen. But when the gray whale population blossomed with a whale of a baby boom, killer whales were suddenly served up a 6-ton movable feast.
It could be as high as some people estimate maybe 25% of the calves could be taken by killer whales.
It didn't take us long to see why the bay is now known as Ambush Alley. It took just an hour of looking before we had killer whales within feet of our boat.
This is the single most dangerous spot of the gray whale's migration north. You can see why. What makes it so attractive for the killer whales is in part the depth here. It's anywhere between 2,000 and 6,000 feet. It gives them plenty of room to roam and certainly plenty of room to make that kill.
There it is. As a research tool, the kills are invaluable. But for some, they are too close for comfort.
Keep going forward.
The documentary filmmaker who was trying to capture this clash of the titans found out the hard way. The gray whales being attacked decided to swim under his boat for cover. Suddenly, he was a participant, not a spectator, in a 100-ton feeding frenzy.
Neutral, backward.
I remember when the first hit came, the tail fluke came like from the side. The boat clearly lifted up and I could just about still hold my camera. I actually broke off the railing trying to hold on.
Darcy Henning was at the helm.
I think every one of us on the boat had that moment that we wondered, is this it?
Some 1,400 gray whale calves are expected to make this dangerous crossing this year, and tourists can't wait to catch a glimpse.
I think they're mostly awestruck because this is something that you might only see on a nature show.
A rare reality show that makes us all feel a little smaller. Lee Cowan, CBS News, Monterey.
More stories are just a click away, but don't forget to join me on television for the on-air edition of the CBS Evening News. On Thursday's broadcast, the growing number of students who cheat, why it's happening, and who's paying for it in our series, The New Graduate. For CBSNews.com, I'm Bob Schieffer.